Louisiana beer reviews, Game Day Ice. Premium brewed Game Day Ice, and it says on the can Ice Ale, is brewed for the 7-Eleven convenience store chain by the City Brewing Company in Lacrosse, Wisconsin. On Beer Advocate and Rate Beer, they say it's an American adjunct lager, not an ice ale. So whether it really is an ale or it's a lager that they call ale so they can sell it in Texas because it is over 5% alcohol, 5.5% alcohol, I don't really know. When this came out in 2010, I was looking all over for it. I've been looking for it anytime I went to Texas or Florida. They don't have 7-Elevens in Louisiana. I would go in there and no one had it. But this was sent to me by Mr. Cannon from the Great Northwest in Washington State, and I received this in the mail this week, 2 cans of this. He wanted me to do a review, and so I'm going to do it. It gets a poor rating on Rate Beer, but only 53 ratings, and it gets a 1 out of 100 on Rate Beer with only 30 ratings. It gets a poor on Beer Advocate, sorry. So we're only looking at 83 ratings overall, and it's very poor. I've never had it, so hopefully it'll be good. We'll see. Much like the other value-priced beers, you get that thick head, thick white head, and a clear golden appearance. Okay, so it looks like regular old American beer. Can't say it looks bad, just looks like Ice House, for instance, or maybe even more like Bud Ice, which is also 5.5% alcohol. Oh, and Ice House is 5.5%, isn't that right? Okay, so it looks like an ice beer. All right, let's go with the smell test. Sweet. Pick up corn, I think. I guess some barley and some husks, like grain husks. It's not a bad smell. It's not skunky. It's just a sort of like, well, like I said, Ice House, or not quite as sweet and gamey as Keystone Ice, or even not as rich as the Milwaukee's Best Ice, which is a little too much maybe on the aroma. All right, so let's go with the taste. Musty grains, barley, corn husk, sweetness, more of a corn syrup flavor, I guess you'd say. Cloying sweetness, more or less. Uh, it's pretty overcast out here, and it's about 73 degrees. It's not bad for January, of course. The body is not so light and watery. It's more like medium body. So it does have some heft to it. The finish is A little ragged, a little rough, not super smooth, semi-dry, dry to, well, it's mostly dry, I guess. It really does taste like a Melanie Brewing product, Melanie City Brewing. Melanie Brewing has certain characteristics, like they have that wet grain flavor, that corn syrup sweetness, and I noticed that with the MX Ice, the Nighthawk malt liquor, which is sold around here, some limited locations. Some of the other store brands that I've bought up north that were Melanie Brewing. Also, I could mention Beer 30 Ice. This tastes very much like Beer 30 Ice. I think it's a little lower alcohol though than the Beer 30, but it just has that Melanie characteristic, which is not necessarily a good characteristic. But it's not horrible. It does have some character to it. You know, it's cheap. I guess it's inferior to Ice House or Bud Ice, Milwaukee's Best Ice. It's inferior to that, Keystone Ice. It's got more of that cheaper taste. Certainly not undrinkable. If you saw this in 12 packs for $7.99 and you could get Keystone Ice and all of that for the same price, well, you would have to go with those major companies, Miller and Coors and Anheuser-Busch. You know, they're going to do a little better job with it. But if you got this for $5.99 a 12 pack, you could make the argument that it would be worth that. Or $2.99 a 6-pack. Yeah, and you're trying to pinch pennies and watch your budget. I could see this. I could see watching this on a game, drinking this on a game day, or just having one at night if you're not too like particular about taste and body and flavor notes and all that stuff. If you're not a connoisseur, you're just a beer drinker and you're just buying it for yourself. Yeah, I could see buying it. If you're going out with some friends, don't bring this though. Bring something a little higher. You don't want to look too cheeky, too cheap. What would I rate it? I'm gonna give it a C plus. It's average plus. It's not just dull and bland and cheap and ugh. It's like cheap and but with some character, some attributes. So would I recommend it? Yeah, if you're trying to save money, I can't see anything wrong with it. So to drink at your home, buy it. If you're going to a dinner party, don't bring this. Bring Miller Genuine Draft or something. Oh well, anyway, I mean, it's all up to you. So it's better than I thought it was going to be. And I'm going to end this review by saying, y'all come on down to New Orleans. Whew. Gotta save this can for my collection.